Hey, I'm Cindy, and welcome to my home. You know, I've lived here, gosh, for about 10 years, here in Southern California forever, and I can't believe that all of this time, all the things that I've been through, certainly the earthquakes that we experience here in Southern California, but just the fear of the news events, from fires to mudslides and floods, and of course burglary, all the things that I own, I've never had an accounting of my stuff, the stuff that we accumulate over a lifetime. Can you imagine losing it? And then how would you track what the value was? We're going to go inside and change that right now.
Since we're both here, we can both actually begin documenting things. And then tomorrow, wherever we don't complete today, you can begin entering the information into the system, and I'll continue documenting things.
Sounds good. Tell me what motivated you to get going with this program, because it really is a heartfelt cause.
Well, it's been close to 3 years now. We ended up having a fire in our home. It did not destroy the home completely, but they considered it a total loss from an insurance perspective. So it was a daunting task to go through and have to try and remember everything that we had lost just so we could get our initial check. And because we could not remember everything, the check actually was not as large as it should have been.
So what is it? I mean, what is it that makes us postpone something that we need to do? It's necessary, but yet we just avoid it.
You know, I think on top of the amount of work it takes, I think most of us have that feeling that it will not happen to us, that we'll never have a fire, a flood, an earthquake, or whatever part of the country you live in, that we'll never personally be affected until it's too late. And then when it's too late, then you wish you had done it. But again, it's too late now.
Why don't you walk us through the process? Really, this began when you came to my home with a pre-interview, if you will, and then now you're here today for a couple of days. Walk us through what happens.
Well, there's actually three aspects to it. The first aspect is there's the software, which an individual can purchase the software, never see us again, just like you would buy any software, and load it onto your computer and use it to go through your home room by room and actually inventory the contents of that particular room. The second aspect is if they would like some help, because it is a daunting task, then we have what's called home inventory specialists, where an individual or sometimes individuals will actually go into a home and assist the homeowner in actually inventorying the assets of the home and actually keying that information into the software. And the third aspect is where we store the information online, because the likelihood of suffering a catastrophe and the only thing surviving is your computer is slim to none. So when you put it in cyberspace, obviously it becomes a little more protected than if it's in the home.
I think what a lot of people want to know is if they go through this process, how much more money might they get back versus if they didn't do this at all?
The way the insurance process works is if you go through a catastrophe, the first thing they're going to ask you is for a list of what you've actually lost. And they're going to base their first check that they provide you on that particular list. Normally it's depreciated, but that first check that you receive will be based on that initial list. So the more information you have, then obviously the larger that check is going to be. The difficulty comes in if you say you had 4 or 5 plasma televisions and you live in an area where they may not have one plasma television, then that's when you need some type of proof. And if that proof is not in the form of a receipt, then the proof can be in the form of you have a photograph of it, you have the serial number or model numbers of it. The interesting thing with our software as well, because of the divorce and the death aspect actually, we actually put a place in where you can assign each item that you inventory to an heir. So should something happen or you have valuables or antiques, then you can say, well, if something happens and I end up passing away, then that's exactly right. The thing that the insurance providers do like about our particular company is that we provide the home inventory specialist. We take that additional aspect of it and say, we know that it's going to be difficult, so we actually provide you that home inventory specialist to help remove the burden from, again, taking the monkey off your back of actually doing it. My particular wish would be that enough people had it so that you can actually reduce the amount of money that you would have to pay for your insurance, because now you actually have this list, so the insurance company knows that the amount of fraud that takes place out there will actually be reduced because enough homeowners actually have an inventory of their assets.
One of the big lessons that I've learned, it's the small things. It's the small things that add up to big things. And we're keeping track of our TVs, but all of those, well, how many coffee grinders do I have?
There were, I think in every cupboard there was a coffee grinder.
I don't know. Wedding presents, I don't know what the heck. Every cupboard is a coffee grinder?
I'm just joking.
Jeez.
It seems like it.
Mm-hmm. The model number is DCG12BC. It's stainless or brushed stainless.
And most people assume, well, I need to make sure I capture my stereo equipment or my refrigerator or my stove or my antiques that I have.
Items, yeah.
Exactly. But the big ticket items, you're going to probably remember a lot of them, maybe not all of them, but it's the small things, the candle holders, again, the shoes, the pants. It's the small things that you're gonna forget that actually adds up to the most amount of money that you'll receive.
I have a lot of stuff, don't I?
Yeah, you have quite a bit of stuff.
Are you getting tired yet?
No. I love what I do.
Will you be here for days, or how long is this
Well,
gonna take?
normally with your particular home, because of the size, it will be 2 days.
Okay.
So a day of counting and a day of entering. Can you tell me a little more about this radio?
Well, as you can see, it is an antique, and all of these radios, they work. And this one is, I believe, from the 20s. 20s or 30s, and we purchased this for a few $100s from an antique radio store. And some of the others were handed down through my family, and then the collection, we just kept building on it, because being in radio, I kind of like radios. And the gloves. What up with the CSI gloves?
Yeah, this is a Maytag.
Okay.
There are freezers on the bottom. The model number is MBR2562.
Well, now I know what they mean by CYA. We truly are covered, thanks to my friends with the Cover Your Asset software. We've gone through our entire home, all of our stuff. Boy, do I have stuff. But we've documented all the big things, all the little things. We know what all is there, and we have it in the computer, and you can too. Get a load of how this works. Basically, now I can look and keep track of items, the categories, the areas where they're located, the manufacturer, the price that we paid, the value, and we can make changes as time goes by. Maybe we've sold something, maybe we've bought something new, and the added value is that this company will also keep these things on their server if you're worried about losing your computer. So either way, something you definitely need to consider, something I've put off for way too long, but now I feel such peace of mind, and I hope you take a look at this as well. For more home improvement ideas, just check back at homewizards.tv. I'm Cindy Dole.